Hey guys, I'm Sam and this is Just Fencing, and in today's video I'm going to teach you how to do a stay. I know we're out on a farm, but planing the stay keeps it nice and tidy, and it does make it easier to put in because you've got to scribe a line with a pencil around there, so nice square edges. All I've used for this is just a couple of staples and an old bit of half round. Right, put it up against the strainer and draw around it. So now I've got my stay sitting up against my strainer. Now I just need to dissect the angle. The way I dissect my angles is an arm facing each way of the fence, and then I just bring them in. Let's move that over a little bit, recheck it. Maybe a little bit more. This obviously isn't a perfect way of doing it, but it's the way that works. Sweet, so we've got that. Now we also need to make sure that it's perfectly in the middle of the strainer, which that looks pretty good to me. And then the third thing is we want to go about halfway down, so I'll just tap that down a little bit. If anything, maybe a little bit below halfway. That looks pretty good to me. Another thing to check is just making sure that it's actually sitting nice and square on the strainer. And see, this is where it comes in handy, having nice square edges. So what I'm going to do is sharpen my pencil first, because that is blunt. Right, the pencil's nice and, well, I wouldn't say nice and sharp, but it's sharp enough. So instead of going like that, I'm going to go like this and turn my pencil inwards and try and get a line exactly on. It's not the easiest thing to video, but just run that up and down. Same on the other side. Turn my pencil in. It's a bit of a better view. See, I've got a nice line exactly on the edge of the stay. Then with this one, I'm going to try and hold my pencil level rather than down like that. I want to go like this. So that it's more or less square off the post. And then on the bottom, I'm just going to hold my pencil flush, just flat on the just flat on the bottom of the stay there, and I'm just going to run it back and forth there. And then if I move my stay, I've got a nice square to work with, and that's what I'm going to chisel out. So a lot of people would prefer to use a chainsaw with this, which is fair enough, each to their own. I prefer to chisel it. Again, it just does a tidy job. So I like to start on the bottom line first. And try not to hit my camera. I won't go in the whole way, just enough. And then I come to the outside, and when I'm doing the outside lines, I'll drive the chisel inwards. And the reason I do that is because if I tried to blow it like that, it would blow the side of the strainer out. So again, inwards, and then I come around to this side, do the same thing, blow the chisel inwards. Once more, and then on the top. And I try and almost keep it below the line, just to make sure that the stay is going to be nice and tight. Go straight in there. Straight in there. Now, this piece should just blow out. I'm going to just move the camera to make it a little bit easier for me. So I'm aiming to get it in there probably, I don't know, what would that be? 15 mil, 20 mil, not quite 20 mil. Now I'm just going to go around. Square out this hole, and now when it comes to these bits where I've gone in on the angle, I'm just going to square that up, tap it in right on the edge there, tap it in, that should just come out, nice square edge, same on this side. And then the top. You should take little bits at a time, really. So as you can see, we've got a fairly nice square hole. Just a couple of little tags there. I'm no builder, but that'll do. And we're going to quite simply put our stay in there, which, see, that's nice and tight, which is good. That'll slot in there well. So what you'll see once you've slotted it in there, as you can see like that, there should be a little gap at the bottom there. That'll close up. Once I dig that stay into the ground, you can imagine the stay is going to go like that, and that gap at the bottom will close up well, and that'll push in. I'd say the stay will push into, you know, maybe 10 or 15 mil. It's probably in there 3 or 4 mil at the moment. So that's that bit done. We'll get to the digging. So for the stay block, we're going to use half of a half round, which is a 1.8 metre post. So we're going to use 900 mil of it. Tape measure, but I've lost my pencil. Oh, fingernail it is. So 900 millimeters, which is half of a half round post. So now we're going to just sit it. So we've got the center of the half round, or the stay block, and we're going to sit it so that it's square. Imagine two, those should be nice and square, and then we're going to dig. So here we've got our stay block, and it's sitting hard up against our stay, and I'm just going to dig a line. I'm going to hold it, get it back to square again, dig a line straight behind it. Again, it's not going to be perfect, but this is more or less just marking it. And then I'm also going to mark where the stay goes. Oops, sounds like I hit something hard there. Now I can move my stay block back, move the stay out of the way. And it's important to dig in front of where your stay block was, so that it's just important. It's important to dig in front of where your stay block was. So this is going to be our hole here. So as you can see, I've dug the back of the block hole a little bit on an angle, and that's just so the half round sits nicely in there. And I took a bit of care too to get the back of the hole more or less flush, so that the hole, there's no big gaps there, because we don't want a half round trying to bow at all. Not that it's going to bow, but you want it sitting flat on the dirt. So there's that. So before I put a couple of little marks where the trench of my stay is, and this is why, so that I don't have to set it back up again. So I think the old stay block's in here, that's what I'm hitting, that's nice and hard. Yep. Look at that. Just another bit of half round. Not rotten at all, just bloody perfect. It's probably been in the ground 40 or 50 bloody years, who knows. So there's a little bit of something. I like to put a little bit of dirt sort of where I want my stay to land, really, so that when I'm tapping it down, once I get it onto this block, I'm tapping it down, it doesn't just drop down too low, because I can keep bashing it down and it'll push that dirt down. But if you've got a bit of padding there, then you can't hit it too low. Alright, so now we've done all that, this is the important part. We're going to pull our put that in there. So as you can see, this is good. Now we're just going to pick a line, and I'll try and set the camera up so that you can see exactly what I'm doing here, because this is definitely the important part. So what I talked about in the previous video, that I put the lean on the strainer, and if I wanted to push the strainer really hard, if it didn't have enough lean on it, I'm looking at a line between the block straight through there, more or less. This is what I'm looking at. So if I wanted to push the strainer really hard, I'd cut it, maybe an inch and a half even 2 inches, and that would give that strainer a really good push. Obviously I'm in a bit softer soil, so I can push them a little bit easier, but in this case I like the lean on the strainer, so I'm going to come back about 1 inch. So I'm going to cut it around about there. Put my spade under here. Grab my roller. I'll actually just move the spade up a little bit to about there. Tap, and I've got my foot on the stay to hold it nice and steady so it doesn't just bounce back up. And then I'm just going to give it a couple of good whacks, just like that. So as you can see here, that's why it's important to have that bit of dirt on there. It went in a little bit easier than what I thought, which is not a big deal because I've already got a good lean on the strainer. It's still in there nice and snug, but if I didn't have that dirt under there, it would have dropped down way too far. So I might just get my spade under there and lift it up a tad. Now he's sitting pretty good. So as we can see, there's a little bit of a gap there, but it's bugger all. Actually, I wouldn't call that a gap. It's pushed in there really nice. It's a tidy looking stay. There's no gap whatsoever under there. Wow, you could call that a gap if you really wanted to, but all in all, that's quite a tidy stay. It should keep everything nice and secure, stop the strainer from pushing over. So that's how we do a stay.